Have you ever felt like you're giving so much of yourself that there's nothing left for you? Like you're always the one holding others up, while your strength quietly fades away. If this resonates with you, this video is exactly what you need. We're diving into 5 things that drain your soul, and how to reclaim them. From responsibilities that aren't yours to financial pressures, family conflicts, and sacrificing your happiness for others. These hidden traps can steal your joy and peace of mind. But here's the good news. You don't have to live like this. Stick with me until the end because we're not just identifying these soul-draining habits. We're uncovering practical ways to reclaim your peace, energy, and freedom. By the time we're done, you'll walk away with the tools and courage to say no, set boundaries, and finally prioritize yourself. Ready to take back what's yours? Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Never take on responsibilities that aren't yours. Have you ever said yes to something and later found yourself asking, why did I agree to this? Maybe it felt harmless at the time. Just a small favor, a little help here and there, or an urgent situation where you felt it would be wrong to refuse. But somehow, those small acts of kindness gradually transform into heavy obligations, and before you know it, you're carrying more weight than you ever intended. It's a familiar pattern, isn't it? You step in as a helper, thinking you're just offering temporary support, but suddenly, you become the foundation holding everything together. The longer you stay in that role, the harder it is to step back. And here's the painful truth. No matter how strong or capable you are, everyone has their limits. Think about it. What happens to a rope that's pulled too tightly for too long? It frays, weakens, and eventually snaps. That rope is you. Why does this happen? Because people quickly learn that you're the one who never says no. They see your willingness to help, and your fear of disappointing others, and they take advantage of it. They offload their responsibilities onto you and walk away, assuming you'll take care of everything. And you do, don't you? Because you've been taught that saying no is selfish. You worry about what others will think if you refuse, or worse, you feel like you're failing them. But let's pause for a moment. Helping others is noble, yes, but at what cost? Your time, your energy, your mental and emotional well-being. Let me remind you, you're not a never-ending resource. You're not a bank that others can withdraw from endlessly without giving anything back. You're not a nanny responsible for raising someone else's children as if it's your sole duty. You're not a doctor whose job is to heal everyone else's wounds while neglecting your own. The moment you dare to draw a boundary, to say, I can't take this on, the criticism begins. People will call you selfish or accuse you of not caring. They'll try to guilt you into changing your mind. But stop and think, who's holding them accountable for putting you in this position? Who's questioning their selfishness in expecting you to solve their problems? Let me tell you something important. Saying no isn't a betrayal of your kindness or generosity. It's a declaration that you value yourself and your well-being. True kindness isn't about letting others exploit you. It's about knowing your limits and being honest about what you can and cannot do. If you keep shouldering responsibilities that don't belong to you, the price will be greater than you realize. You'll lose more than your time and energy. You'll lose the peace in your soul, the joy in your heart, and the clarity in your mind. And when you lose those things, what do you have left to give to the people and causes that truly matter to you? Remember this. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you wise. It's an act of love, not just for yourself, but for those who genuinely need your support. Protect your time, guard your energy, and prioritize your well-being. Only then can you give your best to the things and people that truly deserve it. Don't let the world pull your rope so tightly that you break. Let go of what's not yours to carry, and watch how much lighter, freer, and more fulfilled your life becomes. 2. Don't let others take your money and financial stability. Picture this. It's a serene morning. You're sitting in your favorite chair, sipping a warm cup of coffee, and gazing out at the peaceful scenery. The air feels still and calm, and everything seems to be in its place. Life finally feels like it's yours to enjoy. Suddenly, Your phone rings. On the other end is a familiar voice. Perhaps your child, a sibling, or an old friend. At first, the conversation feels light-hearted, a chance to catch up. But then comes the real reason for the call. They need money. Maybe it's an unexpected expense, a business idea, or a personal crisis. They explain it in detail, and before you know it, you're hearing the words, "I just need a little help. Just this once." It's tempting to say yes. After all, there's someone you care about, and it feels like the right thing to do. You might think, it's only this one time. What harm could it do? But is it ever truly just one time? In many cases, these requests are like a door left ajar. Once opened, they rarely close. One loan turns into another, then another. And with every dollar you give, something else leaves your life. Your peace of mind, your trust, and often, the relationship itself. Why does this happen? The people asking for help often assume you're always willing and able to assist. They see your stability as an endless well, but they rarely see the sacrifices you've made to build that stability. The late nights, the hard work, the discipline, all of it gets overlooked. Worse, repayment is rarely at the forefront of their mind. What might start as gratitude can sometimes turn into expectation, or worse, entitlement. It's crucial to remind yourself that you are not a bank. You are not a relief fund or a safety net for others. Most importantly, you don't owe anyone the sacrifice of your financial security. You've worked hard to get to this stage of life, enduring challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. This is your time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to live for yourself, and to experience the peace and joy you've earned. If you continually stretch out a helping hand, you risk losing that opportunity. Think about it. If an emergency arose tomorrow, one that required significant financial support for your health or well-being, who would you turn to? Who would step up to help you? The hard truth is that many of the people you've helped in the past might not be there when you need them most. It's not about being selfish. It's about being wise. Financial stability isn't just about money. It's about freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your terms. By giving it away freely or out of guilt, you're putting yourself in jeopardy. It's okay to say no, especially when you know deep down that the money might be misused or that it won't come back. Saying no isn't cold or unkind. It's a way of protecting your future. Money is a tool, not a burden. Use it to build a life that brings you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Invest in experiences that make you happy, in things that bring you comfort, and in opportunities that enhance your well-being. Don't let it flow into someone else's endless void of need or irresponsibility. Boundaries are a form of love, for yourself and others. They teach people to stand on their own 2 feet, to take responsibility for their choices, and to value what they have. When you protect your financial stability, you're not just preserving your wealth. You're preserving your ability to enjoy life, your peace of mind, and your self-respect. So, the next time the phone rings and the familiar request comes, remember, saying no is not about shutting someone out. It's about keeping your door open, to the life you've worked so hard to build, to the happiness you deserve, and to the peace that money can't buy but can help sustain. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 3. Don't let yourself be dragged into family conflicts. Family is often seen as the ultimate haven, a place of love, support, and understanding. But let's face it, family dynamics can sometimes be complicated, messy, and fraught with tensions. While the bonds within a family are meant to provide strength, they can also become a breeding ground for conflict. And the worst part? You might find yourself pulled into the middle of it all. Imagine this scenario. You're enjoying a quiet afternoon, maybe sipping tea or reading a book, when suddenly your phone rings. On the other end, a familiar voice. Your brother, sister, parent, or even an in-law says, you need to do something. Mom and dad had a huge argument. Or, your sister is acting selfish again, and someone needs to talk sense into her. Or perhaps, even worse, they ask you to choose sides in a dispute that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Out of love, loyalty, or a sense of responsibility, you might feel compelled to step in. After all, isn't family worth fighting for? But here's the harsh truth. Becoming involved in family conflicts rarely ends well. What seems like a good intention can quickly turn into a trap, leaving you entangled in emotions, misunderstandings, and blame. By trying to mediate, you risk becoming the scapegoat. They may see you as the neutral party and expect you to fix everything, but in reality, the referee in any conflict often ends up being the one criticized by both sides. One person might feel you've taken the other's side, while the other accuses you of favoritism or meddling. Suddenly, you're no longer the peacemaker but a target for everyone's frustrations. And let's not forget the emotional toll. Once you allow yourself to be drawn into family drama, it's hard to escape. You might start losing your peace of mind, replaying conversations in your head, questioning whether you said or did the right thing. The stress can affect your mental health, disrupt your relationships outside the family, and leave you feeling drained and powerless. It's important to remember that love for your family doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being or taking on burdens that aren't yours to bear. Sometimes, the best way to show love is by setting healthy boundaries. You can listen with compassion, offer advice if asked, and support them from a distance, but you don't have to let yourself be pulled into the storm. Letting family members handle their disputes can empower them to grow and find their resolutions. 4. Don't change yourself just to please others. Have you ever heard phrases like, "Mom, you need to be more modern," "Dad, stop being so old-fashioned," or "Why don't you change to fit in better with the times?" These seemingly harmless words, often spoken casually, are far from neutral. They come with a hidden agenda, the unspoken demand that you change to fit someone else's expectations. While such comments may seem well-intentioned, they can carry a weight that slowly chips away at your sense of self. Change, in and of itself, is not a negative thing. Growth, adaptation, and self-improvement are essential parts of life. But when change is forced upon you by others, solely to meet their standards, it can feel like a loss, especially when it means letting go of the very things that make you you. The values, habits, and beliefs you've carefully cultivated over the years are not outdated or irrelevant. They are a reflection of your journey. The lessons you've learned, the struggles you've overcome, the people you've met, and the experiences that have shaped you into the person you are today. These qualities are not some relic of the past, they are your life's story. But often, those around us, whether they're family, friends, or society at large, try to convince us that we must change to fit their version of success. They tell us that our way of living is no longer viable or that we need to embrace the latest trends, technologies, or philosophies to stay relevant. But who has the right to dictate how we should live? Who has the authority to judge the path we've chosen, especially when it's a path that has brought us peace, purpose, and fulfillment? When you begin to alter who you are to fit someone else's vision, you don't just sacrifice comfort or convenience. You sacrifice your very soul. You trade your authenticity for a fleeting approval that may not even last. The more you change to please others, the further you drift from the person you were meant to be. And in the end, living a life that isn't truly yours is the greatest tragedy of all. It's a life without depth, passion, and connection to your truth. Remember, you don't need to change to satisfy anyone's expectations. Remaining true to your values and principles is not an act of stubbornness, it is an act of self-respect and love. If someone truly cares for you, they will not try to force you into their mold. Instead, they will appreciate and honor the unique individual you are, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all. Real love and respect are rooted in acceptance, not in transformation to fit someone else's narrative. So, never trade your peace of mind or the pride you feel in being authentic just to appease others. This life you're living is yours alone, and only you can decide how to live it. Stand firm in your beliefs, hold tight to your values, and trust that the right people will love you for exactly who you are. After all, the only person you truly need to please is yourself. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. Don't put others' happiness above your own. Take a moment and ask yourself, how often have you set aside your wants, your desires, just to bring joy or peace to others? How many times have you put your dreams and ambitions on the back burner to meet the expectations of family, friends, or society? Think about those moments when someone, maybe a loved one, said, "If you don't do this, I'll be so disappointed," or "Mom, I need your help. I'll be so sad if you don't." These words might seem small, but their impact is profound. They slowly chip away at your sense of self, at your happiness, and before you know it, you're in a cycle of pleasing others, constantly sacrificing your peace for the sake of someone else's. At first, it can feel like the right thing to do. After all, love and care for others often lead us to put their needs ahead of our own. But there's a subtle danger in this. We tell ourselves that we should keep giving and that it's a noble thing to put others first. But in truth, happiness isn't something you can endlessly sacrifice to please others. It's a limited resource. The more you give it away without replenishing it for yourself, the more it fades. When you live in this constant state of self-sacrifice, you may not notice it right away, but eventually, you'll realize something important. The more you give, the more others come to expect it. They begin to take from you without considering your needs, and you are left feeling drained, empty, and unnoticed. You might even begin to feel resentful, wondering why no one seems to care about your happiness the way you've cared about theirs. But here's something crucial to understand. You are not here to be a background character in someone else's narrative. You are not just a light to brighten someone else's life while you remain stuck in the shadows. You are not a never-ending well from which others can draw without ever replenishing you. Your happiness, your dreams, your needs, these matter. They deserve just as much attention, love, and care as anyone else's. You're entitled to a life that nourishes you, not one that drains you. Take a long, hard look at your life. Ask yourself this: if you don't prioritize your happiness and your well-being, who will? If you don't stand up for your dreams, who will advocate for them? If you don't set boundaries, who will respect them? The sad truth is that no one else will. The people around you may love you, but they can't be the ones to ensure your happiness. It is your responsibility, and it's a vital one. If you don't make time for your joy and for your personal growth, you'll end up resentful, burned out, and disillusioned. That's why learning to say no is so important. It's not about being selfish or callous. It's about loving yourself enough to protect your well-being. Saying no is not about turning your back on people you care about, but rather about acknowledging that you too are worthy of love, respect, and care. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you continue to give to others without replenishing your energy, you'll find yourself emotionally and physically drained. That isn't love, it's exploitation. True love for yourself involves establishing and maintaining boundaries that allow you to thrive, pursue your happiness, and live a life that aligns with your values and desires. When you say no to others, you're not abandoning them. You're affirming your worth and creating the space to live a life that fulfills you. It's about balance. Giving should be reciprocal. Love should be mutual. It's only when you prioritize your happiness that you can truly show up for others in a way that's meaningful, healthy, and sustainable. You cannot give what you do not have, and if you continue to give at the expense of your well-being, you'll eventually have nothing left to give. So, say no when you need to, put yourself first, and watch how your life transforms. Your happiness matters, and it's worth fighting for. Now that we've explored the 5 things that can drain your soul and how to reclaim them, what have you learned so far? Take a moment to reflect on the message and ask yourself, which of these lessons resonates most deeply with your life right now? We'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to bring it into practice in your life. Your story could inspire someone else to take their first step toward reclaiming their peace and freedom. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Together, let's continue growing, learning, and living with purpose. See you in the next video.